I stood in our tiny living room, hands slightly trembling, holding my notebook like it was a sacred text. Lena was curled up on the couch, scrolling through her phone, half wrapped in the blanket she always stole from my side of the bed. "Hey," I said, clearing my throat. "Can I run something by you?" She looked up, her eyes soft. "Of course, what's up?" "I've been thinking," I began, flipping open the notebook. "You know how hard it is for people to get real-time help with anxiety or panic attacks, right?" She nodded slowly. "Yeah, of course. So, what if there was an app that did just that? Like a smart AI-driven mental health app. Something that doesn't just give cookie-cutter advice, but actually adapts to the user. Something that feels ... personal. Human." Lena tilted her head. "It's like therapy in your pocket?" "Yes, exactly, but smarter. Real-time, mood tracking, personalized strategies, emergency grounding tools all designed with actual clinical input." She placed her phone down. "And you'd build this?" "I've already started sketching the architecture. I've talked to a few developers online. I need to go in. No distractions. I know I can build something that actually helps people." Lena smiled, that soft kind of smile that used to melt me. "I believe in you. I really do, babe." My chest tightened. "You mean that?" "Of course I do," she said, sitting up. "You're brilliant. You just need to follow through." I laughed, nervous. "Yeah, well, I'll need to quit the bar gig. Yep. If I do this, I need to do it full-time." She didn't flinch. "Do it." "You." "I hate that job anyway. And if this app works, it could change everything." "I don't want to put pressure on you, though. Rent, bills, I'll pick up a few extra shifts." "Don't worry about me, Lena." She walked over and wrapped her arms around me. "Go change the world, genius." My God, I felt like I could breathe for the first time in months. I kissed her forehead. "You have no idea how much that means." She looked up, eyes shining. "Just promise me you won't forget me when you're rich and famous." I laughed. "Never." The next few months blurred into code, caffeine, and endless beta tests. I barely left the apartment. My beard grew wild, my sleep schedule racked, but the app began to take shape. Every night, Lena came home from work, dropped her bag and asked, "Show me what you've built today." And every night, I showed her. She'd nod, sometimes impressed, sometimes confused. "So, the app tracks their heart rate through wearable integration?" "Exactly. And if it spikes, it activates the emergency protocol. Calming visuals, grounding, exercises, audio therapy, all custom to that user." "That's actually genius, babe, you think?"
"I know."
I'd grin and dive right back in. One night, she brought home Chinese takeout and plopped it on my desk. "You haven't eaten today, have you?" I had coffee. She shook her head. "You're going to code yourself into the hospital." "Worth it? You're insane," she said, laughing. "But kind of hot when you're obsessed with something." I grinned. "Sure you're okay with this?" "I feel like I've disappeared from your life. You're building our future. Why would I complain?" Our future. Those two words were my fuel. But there were cracks, subtle ones. Like the night I asked, "You okay?" "You've been quiet." "Just tired," she mumbled, not meeting my eyes. "Long shift?" "Yeah. Customers were awful." "You want to vent?" "Not really." "Can we just sit for a bit?" "Of course." But something about the way she said it, her voice lacked warmth. Like she was here but somewhere else too. Still, I ignored it. I chalked it up to stress. Everyone has off days. A week later, I had my first investor meeting. "I need your help picking my shirt," I said, holding up two options. Lena smiled faintly. "Go with the blue. Makes your eyes look less like you've been staring at screens for 10 years. "Good point." She stood behind me as I buttoned up. "You nervous a little? If this guy buys in, it changes everything." "You've got this?" I turned to face her. "Say that again?" "You've got this." I kissed her. "I love you. Love you too." The office lights were still on when I walked in late, too late for anyone to be working. But there she was. Lena sitting at her desk like nothing had happened. I tossed my bag to the floor. "You went live with it?" She didn't even flinch. Yeah. We launched this morning. I blinked. You mean we, as in you and me? She stood slowly, like she was bracing for a conversation she knew would come. Double quotes no. I mean Sophie and I. My mouth went dry. Sophie. She's the co-founder now. It's Tito officially. I stared at her. CTO, you gave her my title. I didn't give her anything. You weren't moving fast enough. I laughed. I couldn't help it. Joking, right, Lena? I wrote the back end. I pitched the investors. I built this, and I designed it. I negotiated the seed deal. Did just as much. But I didn't agree to launch yet. We were weeks away from being ready. You weren't ready, she cut in. I was. I stepped closer. You used the prototype I made? You pushed it live under your name? Your name, Lena? Business, okay? She snapped. Don't make this personal. Don't make this personal. You stole the app, Lena. She scoffed. Stole? You didn't file the IP? You didn't trademark the name? You didn't protect anything? I clenched my jaw because I trusted you. Her eyes dropped for half a second. Guilt, no strategy? You should have known better, she muttered. And Sophie? What the hell does she know about the tech? She knows how to follow instructions, and she doesn't argue with me on every decision. I felt something fracture inside me. You planned. This, I said quietly. The sudden meetings without me. The passwords changing. The GitHub commits under different aliases. You were cutting me out. She looked me in the eye. I was moving forward. You were holding it back. I backed away, breath shaky, unreal. You're not even sorry. I'm sorry you feel betrayed, she said flatly, but not for doing what had to be done. Don't feed me that startup hustle crap, Lena. You didn't have to do this. You chose to screw me over. She turned away, busying herself with her laptop like I wasn't standing there falling apart. I built this with you, I whispered. I skipped holidays, stayed up 48 hours straight on deploy nights. I bled for this, Lena. She did it. Look up. I did too. No, you schemed for it. Silence. Cold and full of tension, I stepped back again. My eyes landed on the framed whiteboard on the wall, our first sketch of the app. My signature was at the bottom. Hers was next to. That sketch used to mean something. I turned toward the door. Where are you going? She asked. I looked over my shoulder. Out. Away from this lie. From you. She folded her arms. So that's it? You're just walking away? You already did, I muttered. I picked up my bag. My hands were shaking, but I didn't care. I just had to leave before I said something I couldn't take back as I opened the door. She called after me, "You'll regret this." I stopped. "No," I said. "You will." I walked out and didn't look back. The night air hit me like a punch. Cold, empty, final. My phone buzzed. Push notification. Lunary has launched. Meet the female founders disrupting mental health tech. I stared at the headline until it blurred. She'd erased me completely. I kept walking, away from the office, away from her, away from everything I thought I was building. I didn't know where I was going, but I knew one thing: Lena had started a war. She had no idea who. She just betrayed. I hadn't showered in 9 days. The inside of my car reeked of sweat, shame, and fast food wrappers. I laid in the back seat with my jacket rolled up behind my head. My stomach growled, but I didn't have the strength or pride to beg for a burger anymore. Someone knocked on the window. I didn't move. "Bro, open the damn door." I sat up slowly. "What are you doing here? You think I wasn't going to notice you vanished off the face of the earth? I'm fine. You're sleeping in a 2004 Civic outside a gas station?" I shrugged. I've had worse. Noah opened the door himself and climbed in like it was his living room. "You smell like depression and sour fries." I cracked a weak smile. To the aesthetic, he glanced at the empty bottles. "You drinking now? Not really. Just enough to forget I exist? You look like hell, man. I feel worse." Silence. Noah shifted in the seat. "Why didn't you call me?" Pride or stupidity starting to look the same. He looked out the windshield. "Come home." I blinked. What? Come crash at my place. Couch is yours. Noah, I'm not asking. Already cleaned it. Got you some clean clothes, too. Swallowed the knot in my throat. You didn't have to do that. Yeah, I did. We sat there a moment, not speaking. My hands trembled as I reached for the steering wheel, like if I held it long enough, I'd still be in control of something. You hungry? He asked. Starving. Noah smiled. Good, there's pizza at my place. I'm not ready to face the world. And don't. Just face my couch, and maybe a shower. I hesitated. Then I turned the key in the ignition. His place smelled like cinnamon and detergent. It was small 2 bedrooms, an old TV, couch with more personality than posture, but it felt like heaven. I stood under the shower until my fingers pruned. When I came out, he handed me a t-shirt and sweats. You look like a human again. Barely. We sat in silence, the TV playing some rerun neither of us watched. Want to talk? Noah asked. No? Want to scream? Not yet? He waited. I lost everything, I finally said. I know. My wife left me, took the house. The dog, even the Netflix password. He smirked. That monster, I'm serious, man. What? No. I'm just trying to keep you afloat. I rubbed my eyes. I don't even know who I am anymore. You're still you. No, I'm what's left of me. Silence again. I loved her, man. I really did. I know you did. She said I wasn't ambitious enough, that I was boring, that she was tired of waiting for me to become someone. Noah leaned forward. You're not boring. You just didn't know how to love someone steady. I choked out a bitter laugh. Steady. I'm a disaster. You're healing, she said. I was dragging her down. Then let her go. I already did. She didn't even look back. My throat tightened. My chest caved in. I buried my face in my hands and let the sobs come. Noah sat there quiet, letting me drown in it. When I finally looked up, he handed me a tissue. She left like I never mattered, I whispered. That's on her. Not you. I feel like nothing. You're not nothing. How do you know? Because I've known you since we were kids. You're the guy who gives his last dollar, the guy who stays, the guy who forgives. I'm tired of being that guy, then be someone else. But don't stop being good. I exhaled shakily. What's the point? He looked me dead in the eye. You hit bottom, but even rock bottom has a basement. I laughed through the tears. That's not encouraging. No, it is. 'Cause if there's a basement, there's also a staircase. I looked at him. That's deep. I saw it on a meme. I chuckled, rubbing my eyes. You always know what to say. No, I just don't know how to shut up. Silence fell again, but it was softer now, easier. Do you remember what your dad used to say? Noah asked. I nodded. They can take everything but your mind. That stuck with me. It stuck with me too. I just forgot it for a while. Well, time to remember. I leaned back, stared at the ceiling. I want to get better. You will. I don't even know where to start. Start with tonight. Eat, sleep, breathe. I nodded. I'll be here tomorrow too. Tears burned my eyes again, but I let them fall. Maybe I wasn't okay yet, but I wasn't alone either. I stared at the crumpled napkin in front of me, coffee-stained, half-torn, but covered in messy sketches and arrows and scribbled notes. This is what it starts with? I muttered to myself. Seriously? I leaned back in the booth, exhaling slowly. My laptop had died last week. Fried motherboard. No money to fix it. My phone barely held a charge. But my brain-it was on fire. Then the cafe door jingled. Jordan walked in sane, cocky smirk. Same vintage leather jacket. Still allergic to punctuality? I called. He grinned. Still broke, I see. I chuckled. Sit down, man. For coming. Jordan slid into the booth. He glanced at the napkin, then at me. That's the pitch? He asked, raising an eyebrow. Don't laugh. Wasn't planning to, but paper napkins. You really are starting over. I leaned forward. Look, I know what it sounds like. But this idea is solid. It's lean, scalable, and it fills a real need. Think matchmaking, but for local business collabs. No fluff, just clean tech. Jordan stayed quiet, studying the napkin. Let me show you. I pulled out my phone. Battery at 4%. Perfect. I tapped through some mock-ups, barely working wireframes. I'd hacked together using an online tool. Jordan watched. This the same UI you showed Bryn back in the day? No, that was her version. This one's mine. Cleaner, smarter, different core engine? He exhaled. You're not trying to beat her, are you? I met his eyes. I'm not trying to beat her. I'm trying to build me. Silence. Then he nodded. How much do you need to build a prototype? I hesitated. 10 grand, he laughed. For a napkin and some hope? I laughed too, but held his gaze. You invested in a crypto cat once. This is less risky. Jordan rubbed his jaw, then pulled out his phone. I'll wire 5. That's all I can swing. My heart thudded. 5 gets me moving. Build something. Show me traction. Then we talk again. I nodded. You won't regret it. Yeah. Just don't spend it all on caffeine. 2 weeks later, I sat cross-legged in my living room. Wires everywhere. Jordan's money. Had gone into a used laptop, hosting fees, some dev tools, and cheap instant noodles. My fingers ached. But the first prototype was alive. It's ugly but alive. I needed help. I posted a listing, looking for assistant. Equity only. Must believe in long shots. No one replied for days. Then Nevada's email was short. I believe in long shots. When do we start? She showed up with messy curls, combat boots, and more notebooks than I'd seen in my life. You're the genius, she said. I'm here to help organize your chaos. I blinked. How was the interview? She smirked. That was the interview. Ava was ... intense. I color-coded your post-it system. She said one morning. I didn't have a post-it system. Exactly, she grinned. She tore through admin tasks, created docs I didn't know I needed, and somehow found time to bring me coffee every morning. I started staying up later just to match her energy. You ever sleep? I asked one night. She glanced up from her screen. Sleep is for successful people. We're in startup mode. I laughed. You're a natural founder. She shrugged. Maybe, but for now I like building someone else's dream. Her eyes met mine. Was it just me, or was there something ... there? We sat shoulder to shoulder one evening, staring at a half-broken login page. This button's bugged, I said. She sighed. Again. That's the 3rd time. 4th, I corrected. She groaned and leaned her head on my shoulder. I froze, but I didn't move. I miss normal problems, she whispered. Like what? Like deciding what shoes go with what dress. I chuckled. I haven't owned a dress since ... ever. She elbowed me gently. You know what I mean? I do. There was a long pause, her head still resting lightly. Then she sat up. I should fix the bug. Yeah, I said softly. You should. We shipped the first version a week later. It crashed. We fixed it. It crashed again. We fixed it again. Users trickled in. 1, then 5, and 20. We cheered over every sign-up like it was a victory. Because it was. Jordan called your live. We're alive, he laughed. You've got some steam. I'm impressed. Think I can pitch for more. He paused. Meet me again. But this time, bring Ava. Why? She sounds like the brain behind your biceps. I laughed. I'll let her know. Later that night, Ava and I sat on the roof, stars above, city buzzing below. Jordan wants to meet you, I said. She blinked me. Why? Because you're the reason I haven't self-destructed. She looked down. I'm just the assistant. You're the backbone. She didn't say anything for a while. Then, do you think this is going somewhere? The startup? No. Us. I looked at her for once. I didn't have a clever reply. Just the truth. I don't know yet, but I know I want it to. It smiled. Good. Me too. We sat in silence after that, but it wasn't awkward. It was something else. Growth. She's on the cover again, Ava said, dropping the glossy magazine on the table. That's 3 this week. I didn't answer. I already knew. I'd seen the cover before she brought it in. Lena dressed like a goddess, eyes confident. Headline: Screaming text Queen of Hearts. Want me to burn it? Ava offered, half joking. She's not worth the ashes. But I picked it up anyway. My fingers hovered over her face. Same smirk, same lie. I could almost hear her voice from last week's interview. I built this app from scratch, all on my own. Late nights, blood, sweat, and tears. No one believed in me at first. ... I had. I'd believed enough for both of us. But apparently, that didn't count. She's rewriting history, I muttered. She's rewriting your history, Ava corrected. You helped code half the thing. She doesn't mention that. Nope. She mentions her supportive boyfriend, though. The new one. Ava sat down, biting into her apple like it was Lena's face. That guy looks like a walking gym membership. I don't care who she's with. Sure, that's why you stare at her photo like it owes you money. I finally looked up at her. Stare because I can't believe how fast people forget the truth. She leaned forward. You don't need to be loud to destroy someone. You just need patience and receipts. I didn't respond. I turned the magazine over, burying Lena's face beneath a perfume ad. You should talk to someone, Ava said. After a moment, you've been bottling this for weeks. There's nothing to say she lied. She won. The world clapped. But you still have the code, right? I nodded slowly. The original build, every commit, every line, time-stamped. But who'd believe me now? She's on Forbes. Ava tilted her head. You're underestimating how quickly the internet turns on people. I'm not a revenge guy. Revenge. No, I'm talking justice. Big difference. I let out a dry laugh. Feels the same when you're the one lighting the match. Maybe. But she lit it first, didn't she? I couldn't argue with that. Later that night, I sat in the dark. The room lit only by my monitor. Her face stared back at me from a paused interview. You're self-made, Lena? The host asked. She laughed. Absolutely. No handouts, no shortcuts. I rewound the clip. At it again. No handouts, no shortcuts. Bullshit. I opened the old GitHub repository. There it was, our early commits. Side by side. Her notes, my functions. All of it. I didn't need to say a word. The truth was already there, in code. Immutable. Unchangeable. You really believed in her, huh? Ava's voice came from behind me. I turned. I did. And now, I believe in justice. She smiled faintly. That's a start. Stared at the screen again. At Lena's perfectly curated lie, the ghost of our past haunted every pixel. But ghosts don't stay quiet forever. Do you trust me? Mr. Reed asked, sipping his espresso like we weren't discussing corporate espionage. I nodded. With my life, just not my money. He chuckled. It's fair. Then let's take her company, quietly. Bit by bit. Exactly. We'll use proxies. Shell investors. So no one will see you coming until it's too late. My fingers tapped against the glass table and Lena. She'll still be celebrating your failure when the floor disappears beneath her. I smirked. Then let's begin. 2 weeks in, I sat alone in my small apartment, staring at analytics from the app I'd rebuilt from scratch. My app, my vision.ping. Another review. This feels human. It listens. It adapts. It cares. 5 stars. I leaned back and laughed. Feels human. Take that, Lena. Downloads have tripled, Sophie said over the phone, voice brimming with excitement. You're onto something. You think it's enough? It's more than enough. Lena made a robot. You made a companion. Tell that to the investors who ghosted me 6 months ago. They'll come crawling back. Just wait. 3 more shell investors signed on that week. Mr. Reed called it beautiful chaos. Lena doesn't even realize what's happening. He grinned. She's too busy doing press about being the next tech queen. I guess she forgot who taught her to code. Let her have her throne, he said. We're digging the trapdoor beneath it. At night, I couldn't sleep. Every time I closed my eyes, I remembered Lena at the pitch competition, standing beside him. My demo crashed, and she didn't even blink. Guess you're not ready for the big leagues, she whispered back then. Well, neither was she. Hey, Sophie texted, big news. A VC just reached out to me about your app. I replied instantly. What? Who? Emma Green, former lead at Nexus Capital, wants to talk tomorrow? Heart racing, I called Mr. Reed. She's a power player, he said. Let her come to you. Act cool. I don't do cool. Then fake it. And don't forget she might bring you the funding, or she might bring Lena a warning. Emma walked into the cafe wearing all black, eyes sharp and unreadable. Nice app, she said, sitting down without shaking my hand. You built it alone? Yes. No. Co-founder. Had one, I said flatly. She thought I was dead weight. She smirked. Bet she regrets that. Hope so. I tested your app last night. Impressive. It learns. It responds. It remembers. Almost creepy. Is that a compliment? Definitely. She leaned in. Why haven't you gone public with your identity? Trying something new, I said. Silence. She raised an eyebrow. You know, your ex-partner is trying to secure Series B, right? You're going to crush her timeline. I sipped my coffee. Oops, Emma laughed. I like you. I want in. I blinked. Just like that. She pulled out a folder. I don't back tech. Back revenge. Yours is clean, strategic, and satisfying. By month's end, we had 8% of Lena's company. She still hadn't noticed. Imagine her face, Sophie said during our late-night call. When she finds out the guy she dumped owns a piece of her baby, she'll deny it, or cry fraud. She'll check the papers. Clean. Legal. Cold, I said, but perfect. Sophie paused. You okay? I should feel something, I admitted, but I don't. Not yet. You will. Another week passed. Another spike in users. Another article. The anonymous dev behind. Heartline is redefining emotional AI. Sources say it outperforms even the market leaders. I stared at the screen. Me. That was me. Mr. Reed called again. We've crossed 12%. I exhaled slowly. Almost there. One more round of acquisitions, and you'll have the swing vote. I whispered, she'll never see it coming, just like you didn't. Ouch, he had a point. At 2 a.m., I opened Lena's latest interview. On YouTube, she sat in a gold-trimmed chair, makeup perfect. Our platform is irreplaceable, she said. No one's even close. I clicked pause. Wrong, Sophie texted. You up? Yeah. Check Twitter. I clicked the link. A user had compared Lena's app to mine side by side. Heartline won in every category. Every comment's poured in. Why? Is Lena's AI so cold? Heartline actually feels like someone's listening? Where's this other dev been hiding? The next morning, Emma called. She reached out to me. I sat up. Lena, yup, wanted to poach me. And I told her I'd think about it. My chest tightened. Will you? Of course not, she said. But she's getting nervous. Her numbers are slipping. She's trying to find. The leak? She trace it to me eventually. Then make sure by the time she does, it's too late. By Friday, I had a board seat, and Lena still had no idea. The boardroom fell into a hush as the assistant opened the door, and then I saw her, Lena, walking in like she owned the room until she saw me at the head of the table. Her heels faltered. Her mouth parted slightly. Ethan. She breathed. I didn't move. Have a seat. Twice. Her knuckles tightened around her leather pitch folder. Slowly, mechanically, she stepped forward and sank into the chair opposite me. My board members exchanged glances. No one spoke. I leaned back, folding my hands. You may begin. She cleared her throat, forcing composure. I'm Lena Monroe, CEO and founder of Spriggan AI-powered wellness app. We're seeking Series B funding to expand into European markets. Her voice was steady. Her eyes were not. How much are you asking for? I asked. $8 million. She didn't hesitate. One of the VCs to my right raised a brow. Impressive. Traction in Q2. But Europe's a big jump. She nodded. We've already secured licensing partnerships in Germany and Spain. User base tripled in 6 months. Revenues up 180%. I watched her lie with polish. Shed practice. What's your user retention rate? I asked. 63% after 90 days. What's the burn rate? 320,000 per month. I tilted my head. Still. Using outsourced dev teams? Her jaw twitched. No, we onboarded a full in-house team in April. And you're the sole founder? Another investor asked. Yes. I leaned forward. Remind me, Lena, what was your degree in again? Her eyes snapped to mine. She knew what I was doing. Communications, she said evenly. I smiled. Right. Not computer science. Not business. Communications. Her nostrils flared. The silence stretched. A junior partner coughed. The numbers check out, but we're concerned about scalability. We've built infrastructure that supports up to 500K DAWs. Our roadmap is aggressive, yes, but attainable. And who's your CTO? Asked. She hesitated. Liam Chen. Still dating him? Excuse me? I shrugged. Just wondering if your business decisions are still emotionally influenced. A couple of the investors shifted uncomfortably. Her face flushed. That's inappropriate. So is leaving me for your co-founder 2 weeks before our wedding? Someone audibly gasped. Lena stood up. This isn't relevant to the pitch. I leaned back, cold smile on my face. You came to my company asking for my money. Everything's relevant? Her voice shook now. I didn't know you were on the board. No, I said softly. You didn't, but I knew you'd come eventually. She stared at me. This is about revenge. No, this is about accountability. Something you've never learned. Made a choice, Ethan. One that was right for me at the time. I stood too. And I made a choice to invest in founders who don't mistake loyalty for weakness. She clenched her jaw. I built this company from scratch. With his help, I said, the guy you chose over me? I didn't choose him, she hissed. I chose me, then pitched to yourself. Because you're not getting a cent from me. She stared at me, her face proud and broken all at once. Then she turned to the board. I appreciate your time. I'll find funding elsewhere. I crossed my arms. You always do. Just like you found comfort in someone else's bed. She froze for half a second. Then she walked out head high, shoulders trembling. The door clicked shut. The room was silent. Someone finally whispered that was ... intense. I sat back down. She landed on her feet. She always does. Still, one partner murmured, hell of a way to handle an ex. I smiled faintly. That wasn't an ex. That was a lesson. The conference room was too quiet. Sophie tapped. Her pen, smiling like she had already won. Lena scrolled on her phone, legs crossed, indifferent. I slid the folder across the table. We acquired 51% of Identech. Sophie stopped tapping. Lena looked up, confused. Excuse me? Percent, I repeated, slow and clean. That makes us majority owners. As of this morning, Sophie blinked once. That's impossible. We would have checked your books, I said. We did. Your silent investors weren't so silent. They sold. You're lying, Lena snapped. There's no way, Sophie. I interrupted, turning to her. Check your email. She hesitated, then pulled her phone out with trembling fingers. I watched the color drain from her face. No, she whispered. Read it aloud, I said. For Lena's benefit, her lips moved, but no sound came, and she finally croaked. This ... This is a formal transfer of controlling interest. Effective immediately. To Bastion Holdings. Lena stood. This is a hostile takeover. Not hostile, I said calmly, when you don't even realize it happened. You've planned this? Sophie gasped. All this time while you were busy laughing at me, I said, standing. I was buying the table out from under you. Lena slammed her hands on the table. You manipulative little Lena. I raised a hand. Don't embarrass yourself further. Sophie clutched her phone, shaking. You can't do this. This is my company, my dream. It was yours, I said quietly. Now it's mine. Lena grabbed her coat. Fine. You got what you wanted. We'll leave. We're not going quietly. We won't leave, I said. They froze. Not until I fire you properly. Sophie's eyes widened. Fire what? You're both terminated, I said, voice flat, effective immediately. You can't be serious. Lena laughed, eyes manic. We built this place. On the backs of others, I said. On mine, on Ava's, on interns you never paid. I gave you a shot, Sophie hissed. You were nothing. Now I'm everything you fear, I replied. Sophie lunged forward. You can't do this. We have contracts. Severance, boards, all null, I cut in. Your employment was at will. I've already cleared it with legal, you bastard. Lena muttered. You smug, self-righteous security will walk you out, I said. The door opened behind them. 2 guards in black suits stepped inside. Lena turned, stunned. You really brought security? They've been waiting, I said, in case you caused a scene. Sophie looked like she might faint. You were never going to forgive us, were you? No, I said simply. I just waited until I didn't have to pretend. A shadow moved in the hallway. Ava, she stood at the glass, half hidden. Behind the wall, eyes wide, mouth slightly open. I met her gaze. She didn't blink. Sophie saw her too. She knew. I didn't answer. Lena stormed past the guards. This isn't over. Actually, I said, it is. Sophie stayed frozen in place. The guard stepped closer. Ma'am, she flinched, and slowly gathered her things at the door. She turned back. Her eyes searched mine. I made a mistake, didn't I? I said, a big one. She nodded once. You loved me. I said nothing. Her lips trembled. I loved Go, I said, turning away. The door clicked shut. Silence fell. I stood alone in the room, hands flat on the table. My heart pounded, but I felt oddly. Still a rustle behind me. Ava stepped inside, silent as a whisper. You did it, she said. Yeah, you really did it. I looked at her. You okay? She nodded slowly. Are you? I opened my mouth, then shut it. I don't know, I admitted. She stepped closer. You don't look happy. I'm not, I said. But I'm not sad either. She paused, studying me. You feel nothing? No, I said softly. I feel everything. We stood in silence. Then Ava said they didn't see it coming. No, I murmured. It. And that's what makes it hurt more. For them or you? She asked gently. I didn't answer because I wasn't sure. My phone lit up for the 3rd time in 10 minutes. Lena, again. I flipped it face down on the table, still calling. Claire asked from the doorway, carrying a tray of coffee like she owned the place. She's persistent, I muttered. Not. Looking up, Claire set the tray down, then sat across from me. You're going to have to listen eventually. No, I said flatly. I don't. Claire gave me that look, the one that wasn't judgmental, just frustratingly kind. She was crying when I saw her. I leaned back, arms crossed. Good. Come on, she said. Ow! You don't mean that? I do. Claire sipped her coffee. She looked like hell. Smudged mascara, eyes red. Said she didn't sleep. Must be hard, I said. Sleeping next to someone who didn't win. That's not fair. Face, I snapped. Claire was quiet for a beat. Then softly, she didn't believe in you. She didn't want to, I corrected. A big difference. My phone vibrated again. Voicemail. The 4th one today. Claire stood, walked to the window, you know. Some people don't get the chance to hear, I'm sorry. I stayed silent. She's hurting. Was I? I said almost whispered. Claire turned to face me. And now you're not? I looked at the phone. The screen stayed dark. Now I'm winning. Claire exhaled, almost disappointed. You're not angry because she didn't believe in you. You're angry because she does now. I stood up sharply. Don't psychoanalyze me, Claire. I'm not. I'm just your friend. Watching you drown in a different ocean. I walked to the kitchen, grabbed a glass of water I didn't want. She chose someone else. Claire. She chose the safe. Bet she made her decision. She made a mistake. Same thing. Claire's phone buzzed. She checked it. She's outside.
Blinked.
What? She followed me here, Claire said gently. I didn't invite her. My stomach twisted. I'm not seeing her. Claire held up her hands. I'll tell her. Just think about it. I didn't respond. She left. A minute passed. Then. 2. The silence in the room wasn't peaceful. It was loud. Ding voicemail again. This time I played it. Hey, ... it's me. Obviously, I guess I'm just calling to say I was wrong. I mean, I am wrong. About everything. About you. About what I thought you could be. She exhaled in the message, shaky. I never thought you'd win. It sounds awful. But ... it's the truth. I never thought you'd actually pull it off. I'm sorry. Not just for doubting you, for giving up before you even started. I hit delete. My finger hovered over the block button, but I didn't press it. Another call came in. Lena. I answered. There was silence for a second. Then you picked up. I didn't say anything. Look, she started. I know I messed up. I know I didn't believe in you when it mattered. You didn't believe in me, I said coldly. I thought I was being realistic. No. You were being selfish. I was scared, she confessed. Of failing. Of being with someone who might not make it. I swallowed hard. You wanted the guarantee. She didn't deny it. Yeah, that's what made it so easy. I said, what? Walking away, I said. Because you've already had. Silence. A long, quiet pause. I deserve that, she said eventually. Yeah, I miss you, she said, voice breaking. I closed my eyes. You don't miss me. You miss the idea of me, the one who proved you wrong. That's not true. It is. And it's too late. I'd take it all back if I could. But you can't, I said. She sniffled. Please don't hang up. I already did, whispered. Then I ended the call. I was halfway through rewriting code for the new onboarding flow when my phone wouldn't stop vibrating. 3 calls from Trevor. A dozen texts from random numbers. What the hell? Before I could finish the thought, Trevor's name popped up again. I answered. This better not be another pitch meeting. Dude, he said, breathless. Have you seen the Chronicle? What about it? May ran the story, front page, full spread. Headline reads, From betrayed fiancé to billion-dollar founder. Chest froze. You're joking. Check your email. I just sent you the link. I clicked. There it was. My photo, the app logo, and below it. He was left at the altar now. The world is downloading his revenge. I scrolled through, my hands, slightly trembling. They got everything, I whispered. The ring, the bachelorette night, her dad's threats. Even the part about me coding on my mattress, dude, you're trending. Twitter's on fire. I leaned back, still holding my phone. My notifications were exploding. Dim as mentions. Screenshots. It was surreal. You okay? Trevor asked. I think so. I didn't think people would care. Well, they do. And Lena, she's getting torched. I paused. What do you mean she went private? Her fiancé the backup dude? He deleted his socials. People are calling her a user, a gold digger, a manipulator. Hashtags like hashtag justice for James and hashtag Lena the liar are everywhere. I swallowed hard. That's not why I did this. I know, Trevor said quietly. But you finally have the narrative. They see the truth. Later that night, I sat at my desk, phone buzzing every 10 seconds. I ignored most of it, except 1. A message from a random handle. I left my own toxic fiancé after reading your story. Thank you. Then another. I just downloaded your app. I believe in people like you. Each message hit me deeper than the last. A call came through. It was Mom. Hi, sweetheart. Hey, Mom, you read it? She was quiet for a second. I cried. Not because of what they did to we already knew that, but because of what you did with it. You turned pain into purpose. I smiled. Thanks, Mom. I always believed in you, she said softly. Even when I didn't understand what you were building. After we hung up, I looked around my room. Same worn-out chair. Same dim desk lamp. but everything felt different now. Then came the ping, an email from Apple.subject. Feature, request, App Store. Story, my heart raced. They wanted to feature my app. That was it. The turning point. I screenshotted it and sent it to Trevor. He replied instantly, "You're a rocket ship now." But I didn't celebrate. I didn't post. I didn't gloat. Instead, I poured another cup of coffee, opened my laptop, went back to building. Because this wasn't revenge, it was rebirth. I stood still, staring at the headstone. Robert Hale, beloved father, 1962 to 2021. I crouched and placed the folded letter beside the base of the stone. "I wrote you something," I whispered. "But I don't think I'll read it. Not this time." The wind blew soft against my jacket. Dead leaves scattered around my feet. "I thought this would feel better, you know," I said, looking up at the name etched in granite. After everything she did, after everything I did back, ... I thought I'd feel lighter. I closed my eyes, but I just feel tired. I sat down, cross-legged in the grass, staring at the ground. "Remember when I was 8, and you told me people who hurt others were just hurting themselves louder?" I chuckled dryly. She screamed loud, "Dad, for years." And I screamed back. I'm not sure who got the last word, but I think we both lost something. Footsteps crunched behind me. I didn't have to look. I figured I'd find you here. Ava's voice broke through the breeze. I tilted my head, giving her a tired smile. "Graveyard's not really your scene." She sat beside me without hesitation, brushing grass off her knees. "Neither is revenge, but here we are." I sighed. I didn't even yell when it all went down. No dramatic send-off, no storming. Out. "That's growth," she said. I laughed bitterly. "Feels more like surrender." Ava turned to me, eyebrows raised. "Surrender would have been staying, letting her keep slicing pieces off of you until there was nothing left. You left. That's not weakness." I looked back at the grave. I came here to tell him I did it. I beat her. I finally stood up for myself. Now I just feel hollow. "You didn't come here to brag," Ava said quietly. "You came here to grieve." "Grieve what her?" "The years I lost, or the part of me I'll never get back." Didn't answer right away. Instead, she leaned back, staring up at the sky. "You didn't win because you beat her," she said finally. "You won because you didn't become her." That hit like a punch in the chest. I blinked fast. "You think I didn't?" Ava turned her head toward me. "Did you lie to manipulate someone into loving you?" "No." "Did you gaslight someone? To control them?" "No." "Did you break someone just to feel powerful?" I swallowed. "No." "Then no, you didn't become her." Let the silence settle between us. A bird chirped from somewhere behind the trees. "She always told me I was weak," I whispered. "That I felt too much. That real men don't cry. That I'd never be anything without her holding me together. Then look at you now," Ava said, placing a hand on mine. "Whole, and still feeling everything. That's strength she'll never understand." Tears slid down my cheeks before I could stop them. I didn't even wipe them away. "I didn't need revenge," I whispered. "I just needed me." Ava smiled softly. "Exactly." We sat there for a while. Just two people and one memory. Eventually, I stood. Brushed the dirt off my jeans, looked down one last time. "Goodbye, Dad," I said. "I'm sorry I waited so long to come back here, but I think you'd be proud." Mava took my hand as we walked away, and for the first time in a long, long time, I didn't look back. I stepped out of the black SUV and looked up. There it was, my name. In bold letters, on the glass tower. The same building where Lena had once walked with her nose high in the air, flaunting a man who didn't build, but bought. Now it was mine. Mr. Carson, the receptionist, greeted, her smile warm. "Welcome back." I nodded. "Thanks, Ellie." I walked past the lobby. My footsteps echoed on marble floors, the same ones I used to mop after hours. I caught my reflection in the polished glass wall-clean suit, clear eyes, a calm man. The elevator opened with a soft chime. Going up. Ava stepped in beside me. Holding her tablet, I smirked. You always catch me right before I'm about to enjoy silence. She raised a brow. Silence. From the man about to give his first anniversary speech as CEO. Don't remind me, you wrote it. Halfway I figured I'd just wing the rest. Be mysterious and inspiring. She rolled her eyes. So full of yourself now, I leaned in slightly. Is it working? She blushed, but didn't answer. Doors slid open. My team was waiting marketing, finance, design, and min-aligning both sides of the hallway. Applause filled the space. Some clapped like it was routine. Others clapped like they meant it. Speech, speech. Someone yelled from the back. Later I called, walking between them. I entered my office. It still smelled like fresh leather and new wood. How does it feel? Ava followed me in. I turned slowly, my eyes drifting to the magazine cover on my desk. Business Today, from rock bottom to boardroom, the real story of Luke Carson. I picked it up. Held it. Lena had been on the same cover a year ago. Perfect makeup. It's perfect lies. Now, I was here with a real story. No sugar daddies. No handouts. Just war and peace. Feels quiet, I said finally. That's peace, she said gently. I looked at her. She had been there when I had nothing. When I ate instant noodles encoded from a laptop with a cracked screen. When I cried after seeing Lena marry him. I slept on the couch in my shared apartment, whispering revenge into the dark. You stayed, I murmured. Of course I did. I could have left. I could have, she said, stepping closer. But then I'd have missed this. I looked back down at the magazine. She added softly, You ready for them? I smirked. Let me enjoy this for just one more minute. A soft knock interrupted us. Come in. Was Marcus from PR? Nervous as always. Sir, just wanted to confirm your quote for the closing line of the feature. I thought for a second. Then I said it clearly. Tell them this time. He scribbled it down and disappeared as quickly as he came. I chuckled. What? Ava asked. It's funny, I said. Back then, I thought success would feel like screaming from a rooftop. And now it feels like breathing easy. Waking up without that pit in my stomach. Owning something without needing to prove I deserve it. She tilted her head. 'Cause you know you do. I smiled. The intercom buzzed. Ellie again. Sir, Lena Monroe's here? My fingers froze mid-dash air. Ava raised her eyebrows. I pressed the button. Send her up. Seriously, Ava asked. I nodded. Let's see what she wants. A few minutes later, Lena walked in. Same perfect face. Same polished look. But her eyes different. Tired, hollow. Luke, she said softly. Lena. She glanced at Ava, who crossed her arms and stayed planted beside me. You're doing well, Lena said, looking around. I gestured to the magazine. Better. Then well, she hesitated. I saw the article, I figured. She exhaled. I came to say congratulations. I raised an eyebrow. That's all? She bit her lip. Ask if there's a place for me here. Yava let out a quiet scoff. I stared at Lena. You want a job? Not charity? Just a chance. The silence sat between us like a loaded gun. You once laughed when I said I'd make it, I said. Called me naive. I know. You married a man for status. Lost everything when he was arrested. Ah, there it was. The story behind her tired eyes. You used my name once, I said. To make yourself look bigger, stronger, smarter. I'm sorry. I nodded. I believe you. She looked up surprised. But sorry doesn't mean you get a seat at my table, she blinked. I stepped closer. I built this with scars you gave me, Lena. Every lie, every laugh. Every night I spent wondering why I wasn't enough. I poured that into this company. She opened her mouth, but I raised my hand. You don't owe me anything, and I don't owe you either. I hope you find peace. Just not here. Her lip trembled. She turned without another word and walked out. I stood still. You okay? Ava asked gently. I nodded. Yeah. Was that closure? I turned to her, eyes soft. No, that was confirmation. Of what? That I've moved on. She smiled. You're stronger than her, she whispered. No, I said. I'm just freer. The door opened again. My assistant peeked in, ready for your speech. I adjusted my... Caller, let's go give them a show. As we walked out, Ava leaned in. This time, it really is yours. I smiled. This time, it always will be.